has the standard and brushed ESCs gone from this to this? Well, let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? The RC Syndicate here, back with another video, and today we're going to be discussing brushed ESCs. In particular, this one right here that has just come to light. So when it comes to ESCs, me right now I am running a brushed motor, so I need a brushed ESC. Class 1 does have a regular axial dynamite ESC. Does fine. Other rigs of mine do have this Hobby Wing Quick Run 1080, and of course this is the absolute standard when it comes to stepping up your game in the ESC as far as brush goes. Program card included, multiple adjustment points. This will wake up a stock motor and definitely improve your vehicle without a doubt, just by swapping this speed controller out. This definitely looks like it's going to be changing the game for entry-level brushed ESCs. So with the power of video editing magic, I already got the plastic off, and that's what we get. Small instruction booklet, and there's the speed controller and what I assume would be a start-stop button. So first things first, very nice packaging. That's what she said. So here you go, you got your speed controller, and looks like this is plastic. Very small heat sink, so we'll definitely have to see how that's gonna hold up to, but everything looks good. 16 gauge wire, so that'll definitely be able to transfer what we need to have just fine. It looks like it's 2S to 3S compatible, so just heads up on that. And we do have a BEC output of 5 volts to 7.5. Now, you and I both know we're not going to run no 5 volts. We're going to jump this thing all the way to 7.5 because why not? We need all the power we can get. But definitely, relatively nice little package. This is pretty comparable to a 1080 actually. Here we got our power button. This is cool. I actually don't mind this too much. Especially with the slim design. This is definitely probably gonna go to a spot where it's very inconspicuous. You probably wouldn't even be able to even see this thing. So I actually like that. That's actually not a bad design at all. And then props for throwing in the heat shrink of this thing. That's great right there. So yeah, I'm actually digging this pretty good. That's a pretty good value for like 25 bucks. Just so far what you get with just components. Going through some of the literature right here, looks to be all in Chinese. There you go. So yeah, it has everything laid out for you as far as how you wire the system up. Basic calibration, there's a calibration on there, so just a heads up, the 1080 has a calibration also. And for you guys who have a Hobby Wing 1080 right here, if you guys have not calibrated your transmitter to that ESC, definitely go do it. It definitely makes one hell of a difference. But yeah, it looks like there's a calibrating program here. So yeah, everything looks good, nice and laid out. Very informative. So yeah, pretty impressed so far. 25 bucks. I gotta keep saying that, 25 bucks, because that's a pretty damn good deal. Now, of all the trucks we can put this thing in, the Class 3, Class 2, Class 1, this one right here, probably anything else above here, we're going to go with a vehicle that currently is running the stock ESC, does damn good. And the reason why I'm not pitching it against a Hobby Wing 1080 is because you got to look at it, right? The Hobby Wing 1080 is 50 bucks. This is not 50 bucks. So, if this does better than this in any which way, then immediately we're going to be like, oh man, 1080's trash, let me go with this. But really, when you look at it, let's go with a similar ESC in price range, and that's going to be your typical Dynamite ESC. And that's going to be your price range right there, with what you have here. So, if it outperforms the Dynamite ESC, that's on the same price range. If it doesn't, or it does the same, then you know what you're looking at as far as value goes. And I really think that's kind of how we need to really look at this is not $25. This is $50 for a reason. I have put my 1080s through hell and a half, and they have yet to fail. That's pretty damn good, and I think for $50, that's a hell of a peace of mind. This is untested. We'll have to wait and see. But also with the Dynamite ESCs, I've had great luck with my Dynamite ESC. So it's going to be hard to change that class 1 over from a proven setup to something we have here. But we're going to go ahead and get that done. And this, my friends, is going to be our guinea pig right here. This is going to be my class 1. Mostly just a standard axial SCX102. Currently right now it's running a Holmes motor, but with a stock ESC. So this is going to be our guinea pig. This crawler does very, very, very well. Very good control, very smooth, very accurate, modulates very, very well when it comes to putting power down. So like I said, it's just going to be hard to really beat that particular setup in here. But let's see if we can do it. I do believe if I put a hobby wing on this thing, I would see tremendous amount of performance handling, just going through the roof, because of how well it does. But again, for that price range, let's see what this will actually do. Alright guys, here she is. She's all sitting here all nice and pretty, somewhat temporary though. Have the ESC kind of sitting here in the battery tray. Got my receiver up top. Wires are all ran and stuff. So that part looked good. That fit just like I had with the Dynamite ESC. Fit nice and snug. So far I've taken liberty to go ahead and get this thing calibrated. Super simple. No big deal. And then I started working on getting this thing programmed. And that's where we run into some issues right off the bat. So here I have my phone out. You can see this is actually the program itself that this ESC uses via Bluetooth, and it's pretty effective. You can see that red right there at your throttle input. But look what it starts doing. You guys hear that? This motor is actually just cocking back and forth, and I have to. It actually will not stop. So I'm having to go through and actually power the ESC off. And then turn it back on. And then we're fine again. So I'm going to go ahead and actually get into this. We're going to go ahead and actually get into the ESC. So here we're going to go through and just kind of set our parameters. See what we got. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that's set up for rock crawler, which that is set up there. It's saving. As you guys can see here, this is all real time. Still saving. See that? Save failed. Okay, let's try again. Saving. Oh, there you go. Save successfully. Okay, we got forward and reverse. Got LiPo 3S. That's right. Voltage cutoff. Let's go and see if we can make changes at voltage cutoff there. And we're gonna 3S. We're gonna change that to 11.1. Our BEC set to 7.5, which I want. Motor rotation forward. Let's go ahead and send that. Timeout error. Okay, no big deal. Let's try this again. Change our voltage cutoff. Change that to 11.1. Everything's the same. Let's go and hit that again. And timeout error. And that's the problem. Alright guys, and that's the problem, is this particular ESC, this is with a firmware update by the way. I'm going to try to see, We got errors all over this thing. Motor output disable. We have, but yet you can see where it's registering. Like, we got problems. And what I think ISDT did, I think this product was great. I think this product has a hell of a lot of potential. But when I immediately opened the box and plugged it in, I had a firmware update. And if you guys recall, having firmware updates, that just means the product is incomplete. And as they go through and develop this, they'll start making changes to make this a lot better. Now, again, it's a new product, and that's why I said $25, and I wanted to keep it compared to this particular ESC right here, because it is not a Hobbywing 1080. Bluetooth function of this thing, going through this app, although it's cool and stuff, and I understand it, it's just not practical. It's just really not. And unfortunately, I feel like if they would have simply taken their time a little bit more, developed it a little bit further before releasing this, I think we would have had a far better product, and I think I could have given you a way better, you know, argument to say, hey, this is a solid ESC, and I believe you should buy it. Will it get better? I'm sure it will, but I need to crawl now. I need to compete now. I need a product that'll actually fit the bill. And unfortunately, from ISDT, this is just not it. It's just not it. So, what's going back in there is the Dynamite ESC. This particular rig will receive an upgrade. It'll be brushless eventually. So that's why it's not going to get a Hobbywing, because this Dynamite ESC does exactly what I needed to do in this particular rig to get the job done. So again, guys, not trying to be negative and put this thing down so much, and I know it sounds very bad because that's kind of what I've been doing, but I just cannot recommend this particular ESC in its current configuration. Perhaps down the road they'll be able to do something with it and make it a very, very competitive product, but as it sits right now, beginning of 2022, I cannot recommend this. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I know there's a lot of negative towards the end, which is unfortunate. I am going to continue to keep playing with this as time permits. I'm going to give it back to my buddy Matt, and hopefully he can do something with it. Maybe he has better luck. And if we're able to get more firmware updates and this thing actually comes around, I will definitely update, and we'll have a part 2 to this video. But again, this first impressions, it's just not it. We didn't even make it off the bench, and she's having that much of a problem. Again, guys, I appreciate your support. If this is your first time here, I appreciate a like on this video. If this is something that you would like to continue to see, please hit that subscribe button. And until I see you on the next one, y'all be safe.